Call to order of the Kearney School District Board of Education regular meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Matt Baker.
Here.
Jason Clint.
Here.
Here.
Christina Lindsay.
Here.
Grace Weitzel.
Here.
Nick Weisman.
Here.
Here, we have a quorum. Next, amend the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. We have no public comment tonight, so we'll go right into the superintendent's report.
So this August, we kicked off our back-to-school engagements with a meeting at the Kearney Chamber on August 6th. It was a good opportunity. We were the hosts at Kearney Junior High, and it gave us a good opportunity to celebrate our student successes as well as give them an overview of operations of the school district. Resource Fair was held on August 7th and 8th, and that is such a meaningful event. 285 students benefited by receiving resources. We had 24 community agencies come out and help, and over 30 volunteers also participated. August 11th through the 15th, teachers returned, and I want to thank Dr. Utek and Allie Stewart. Really great job on the professional learning for the week. I also want to mention the monumental effort that took place preparing 3 of our buildings. Newkirk, Novak, our operations team, custodians, maintenance, grounds, technology, our principals, our teachers. That was a full team effort in order to get our buildings ready for open house. And you would not have known all the work that happened over summer. Open house was on Thursday night, and then we closed the week with our annual convocation where we recognize teachers for their years of service. And we're really appreciative of the Education Foundation. They recognize our new to teaching teachers, and we have 9 new to the profession, and they give them $250 grants. So we're very appreciative of that. This week is the first week of school, and I'll tell you, it was just wonderful to be out in schools and just see the excitement of parents and children as they entered the classrooms and welcomed their teachers. It's really been a great first 2 days. This week, we're already looking at athletics. So Friday is at 6 o'clock is the jamboree, football jamboree with Raytown and Raymore Peculiar, and Monday, girls volleyball jamboree at 5 o'clock. I do want to mention that our very own Ray Weichel has been hard at work on our new district website and school sites and launching Parent Square. That's really done a nice job on really streamlining our communication platform. We really feel strongly that we're reaching about 100% of our patrons through that new platform. And I also want to share that this Saturday, Kearney High School will be hosting Academy Day. So that's really kind of a unique opportunity for us to recognize, give students the opportunity to hear about it's a pretty complicated process to get more information to apply for an academy. So we're very glad to be hosting that. And I will conclude my comments.
Thank you. Next, we have the consent agenda.
Move that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Next, we have information items. First, the bond project update. Hello.
Hello again. Kind of tagging on to what you said, I mean, a lot has happened over the last 2 weeks. We've had some ups and downs, we've had some oopsies, but we got there. And as you can see by the photos here, it turned out great. I don't know if you guys have been able to get into the classrooms, but I highly recommend that you do because September of last year to where we are now it's pretty amazing what has been accomplished over the past several months. So it's pretty cool. Hawthorne right there, I think that's one of the collab areas at Hawthorne Elementary. They're kind of similar colors, style, so this is one of the resource rooms, I think, at Hawthorne as well. Kearney Elementary, new front entrance. That's a wow factor right there. That's totally different than what we had. New signage, new metal panels, pretty cool. This is, I think, one of the existing collab spaces at Kearney Elementary. And I believe this is one of the existing, or one of the new collab areas in the new addition. Pretty cool area. Dogwood Elementary, the new media center. Very, very neat space. And another one of the areas, kind of the resource rooms at Dogwood with the operable partition room that can be divided. So kind of as you kind of just look at these photos, you can see the completed schools, and just wanted to take a moment to express sincere gratitude for everyone who made the project possible. From the district leadership to the principals, Mitch at Kearney Elementary, Chauncey at Hawthorne, Kathleen at Dogwood, to the teachers, the staff, the city, David and Kevin at the city with all the work that we did with inspections and kind of the ups and downs what we had with city inspectors, to Jeff Fort at the fire department, for all the trust, collaboration, and support through everybody. It was pretty cool. I want to give a special thanks to Dr. Miller, Eric, and Jeremy, and again to each of the board members who championed this initiative. It was pretty exciting. I'd also like to give a heartfelt thank you to our design partner, DLR. Megan was kind of our lead architect on the project, and her vision, leadership, and guidance were instrumental in bringing these tools to life. And we couldn't have done it without the Newkirk team. Zach Carter, superintendent at Kearney Elementary. He started Hawthorne. Justin Burko ended up coming over, and Jack and Justin kind of finished that. Justin Cunningham, superintendent at Dogwood. Elizabeth, our project manager. I mean, these guys work flawlessly together with each other and with everybody else, and it showed in a project that we could all look back and be proud of. We had two project engineers, Luis and Colby, who helped Zach and Elizabeth and the two Justins to not carry the heavy load, and it all worked together. It was a good group of guys. Their dedication, teamwork, professionalism were instrumental in delivering the final product for you guys. So thank you for this, and we look forward to more. We look forward to the relationships we've developed along the way, and thank you. Anybody have any questions?
It looks amazing.
Well done.
Yep.
Yeah,
A
that
month
looks
ago, we
fantastic.
toured and we knew you would do it, but boy, you came a long way in 4 weeks.
We did.
No
Yeah.
furniture. I don't think we saw much furniture anywhere, and all the flooring that had to go down. And I know I live right here in town and drive by Kearney Elementary probably 6 times a day in Hawthorne, and
Yeah,
there were people there late Saturday night.
there was a
and
lot of hours
weekends,
spent over the
and
last 3 weeks, some late nights, and so, yeah, but all worth it. So
It was
thank you.
awesome. So, and I know Bree and I were part of this when we decided to pivot, and Nick was just coming on.
That's right.
And so that was a big decision and a big leap of faith, and appreciate Dr. Miller's leadership on that. And Eric, your work has been, I don't want to see all your lists. Do you keep an archive of all your lists, or do you throw them away? But no, it truly was, a unique situation to pivot like we did, and to completely abandon building another elementary school. And I know that I'm just really excited about being able to touch so many more students with all the work that we did by making this move than if we would have done the other. And I just think we did the right thing, and I'm really proud of how it's turned out. And I can't wait. I'm going to go back and see all the furniture at the schools, because I have not been able to do that yet. So I'll be going the next week or so. Is it okay if I go to the school? Okay.
Thanks again, and we look forward to more opportunities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Financials.
Good evening. You'll see the reports I posted. Probably the one I was going to bring to the most attention is the fund racial ratio report. I did things a little differently than what Ginger did, and you might have noticed that the ending balance projection for the end of the year has also changed as a result. I did some trend analysis, and I just felt like Ginger was very conservative, and as a finance person, I can appreciate that because you always want to under-promise and over-deliver. And so she was very conservative, and if you studied her numbers like I have, you'll see usually that number starts to creep up towards the end of the year. And so I felt like expenditures were probably a little on the high side for what we're going to see this year, so I did back them down. So if you compare what the number was in the budget report or the budget message back in June, it was more like 17%. And I feel that number is going to come in closer to 20. I'm actually hoping for a little more than that, but for today, I'm going to say 20, just over 20%. So is there any other questions regarding any? I did also, I didn't have time to get all my mind around all the numbers in Fund 4, so I did do kind of a year-end number plug. And I will get that fine-tuned for next month as far as the month-to-month details on that. But you're pretty much aware of all the money that's being spent on the bond projects right now, and month-to-month doesn't matter nearly as much as the very end. So with that, I'm happy to entertain any questions you might have this evening.
Doug, two questions for me. The first is that have we received all the state and federal revenue that we should at this point, or is there anything outstanding that we're waiting for?
No, nothing outstanding. I know there's the concern with the federal hiring or the federal freezes on funds and stuff. The ones that apply to us have pretty much been lifted. We are going to get less in federal funding this year than we did last year to the tune of about $17,000. 17,000 isn't going to make or break us since we're so very little dependent on federal funds. So state-wise, I know the first payment, the calculation for SAT was at $6,900, but it's projected to go to $7,145. And my understanding is that should get adjusted by the end of the year. So it's not like we're losing. Maybe the money's a little bit delayed, but we're not losing anything. It'll get caught up by the end. So we're hoping that $7,145 is a solid number.
Good. And my second question is, if I read it correctly, it looks like we spend about $500,000 or $600,000 more than we have for revenue in Funds 1 and Funds 2. And so my question is that, again, a part of the conservative nature of kind of looking at worst case scenario, or is that where you think it ends up, or is that, or does it point to a structural problem with the budget?
Yeah, deficit budget spending is not unique. I went back and looked at the last 6 budget cycles, and every one had expenditures higher than revenue out of the gate with the June budget message. Actually, this year, if you go back to June minutes and look at the report, it actually exceeded by the tune of about $2 million expenditures over revenue, and I backed that number down to 500,000, which is why we're at 20%, not at 17. I think that's going to be a more realistic outcome, but I will say I think expenditures are still a little on the high side, and I think revenue is going to be pretty close to coming what's in. But as I looked at trend, usually revenue was underestimated as well, and 4 out of the last 6 years, revenue actually came in higher than what we showed in the budget. So I'm hoping that's the case this year, but I'm going to be conservative and say, let's just hope it comes in where we predicted back in June. And if so, we should be fine. Good questions. Anything else?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we have a program evaluation for operations that's written. Any questions on that? And then we have a program evaluation for facilities from Mr. Nolan.
Good evening, everyone. Be presenting operations program evaluation for the 2024-25 school year. And when we say operations, we're talking, or when we're talking about facilities, custodial, grounds, and maintenance departments make up our facilities team. So Besides myself, on our leadership team, we have Jerry Stinger in charge of custodial, Drew Schweitzer in charge of grounds, and Jeremy McQuarrie in charge of the maintenance team. So just a kind of an appropriate time just to mention those three and their teams. Dr. Miller mentioned them already, Joe mentioned them. They did a kind of behind the scenes, you know, where the construction team is making the buildings, but in order to make that push to start those three guys and their teams did a lot of work in preparation, and at the end when they were completed, as they were completing, those three guys and their teams made it happen to get everything ready for day one. And what would that be, open house on Thursday of last week. So just Drew is here tonight, and just want to recognize those three for their extra efforts through the summer. So we have 32 custodial employees, 5 in grounds and 6 in maintenance. They oversee just under 800,000 square feet of building space and around 227 acres of district property. Tying this program to strategic goals, anytime you hear creating safe and secure environments for our students and staff, that ties right into our facilities. And the part about utilizing resources in a physically responsible manner, we try to, that kind of guides us in our operations. So we have a mission that to provide comprehensive buildings and grounds maintenance programs that improve and extend the life of facilities and ensure that they are attractive, comfortable, energy efficient, functional, and safe. And that's what we're employed to do. So to make that happen, we have monthly meetings with our leadership team where we review upcoming and active projects, work orders, budgets, and personnel. Annually, within our facilities administrators, we meet with the building principals, walk and talk through the building needs, and that's kind of where our ideas start when we start to form our plans. We keep an ongoing 3-year plan, and that's what the communication tool is when we start working with administrators to try to let them know when and where they can expect to see improvements in the future. Facilities Department manages 3 budget categories to meet our building and grounds needs. We have an operational budget, which is approximately $750,000. That budget accounts for our repairs and maintenance of existing infrastructure, the custodial supplies that we need, and the numerous service contracts that we have out there, which are, seems like they get more by every year. But you know, everything from code required inspections to pest control. Second category of funds would be a district capital project budget, often referred to as Fund 4. It's usually used to support the long-range capital plans, and fiscal year 25 was approximately $180,000. It would be used to support things like HVAC, mechanical, roofing, paving projects. And then our third fund would be bond funds, which our most recent one was the 2022 Prop B fund, or bond issue. And at the end of fiscal year 25, it was 59% either spent or encumbered. So if we go back to that, district capital project budget, Fund 4. It lists $180,000 for this past year. The prior year to that, it had been $1.2 million. And the prior year before that was just under $1 million to take care of those big projects. The reason it is down to $180,000 is we were able to take those things that would normally be on the Capital Project Fund 4 budget, and we've rolled them into the 2022 bond project. And instead of utilizing the Fund 4 Capital Projects Fund, they were now rolled into the bond. And you can see that we accomplish, these projects are either done or will be completed this fall. And it's everything from roofs, HVAC, expansion joints, epoxy flooring, playground upgrades, carpet, middle school north and west wall upgrade, gym elementary gym basketball goals, exterior trim painted a couple schools, support services foundation, and roof ladders at the high school. So that's kind of the discrepancy in that fund. I just wanted to point that out where those have changed. Our expenses, there's a 5-year chart of custodial, maintenance, grounds, totals. These expenses include salary and benefits, materials and supplies, rentals, repairs, all of our utilities, trash, and our insurance fees. So last year we had 3 goals that are up here on the projector, which would say all of our projects were going to be done on time and under budget. And that was kind of a moving goal as we've changed our intent. And so can't say that we are done yet. So we just keep backing up our completion date. And so our intent is to have all of our bond projects finished by this time next year, and that is going to be our goal. So as of now, we are under budget as well. Second goal was hire and retaining full custodial staff, grounds and maintenance. And at the end of the year, at the end of the fiscal year, we had 3 vacancies and 84% retention. Our goal was to be 100% retention within that year. Did not meet that. And then we had a goal to have our safety and security measures completed efficiently. And so within this past year, we had exterior door access control projects, contact sensors to exterior doors, safety film project, and rekeying Hawthorne door locks, and those are complete. So going forward, have 3 goals as well. This first one would be to develop and manage a 10-year long-range capital projects plan. And that is, our goal would be to basically take our 3-year plan and expand it for 10 years. And that we feel like that is our next step to be better at planning and projecting what those needs are going to be. So we'll work for that. Second one is an extension of what we had on there before, because we aren't done. I'd like to make sure that we manage the budget and schedule and make sure that we get done with these projects by the end of next summer, and under budget, of course. And then stayed with the same goal for program goal number 3, is we want to fill 100% of our vacancies and keep 90% of those retained every year. Questions?
Any questions? Thank you for getting that done, in addition to everything else you've been working on the last month.
Not a problem, thank you.
All right. Next, we have action items, PAT salary schedule.
Move to approve the 2025-2026 PAT salary schedule as presented.
Second?
Any questions regarding the salary schedule? We've moved from an hourly rate to a flat rate. The reason we've done that, that offers a little bit more consistency when we're paying our parents as teachers. We have traditionally had them, like I said, paid an hourly rate where they would clock in and clock out remotely on like a cell phone. We were having some issues with that. We've kind of followed suit with a lot of our competing districts. A lot of them have flat rates. We're adhering to the DESE guidelines as far as pay. This will just make it a little bit easier on our payroll system and also our employees going back to the flat rate. So when they complete an activity, they check the box, they get that payment. So we'll just monitor that instead of the hourly rate.
How will this system affect what they've been paid previously? Will they see a big difference?
Great question. It doesn't increase our expenditures. The rates are based on, our 2 or 3 bottom tiers on our we really step 1, 2, 3, and 4 on our current hourly rate. So we're really pretty close to what we've already paid. It's just, it just comes at a flat rate instead of an hourly.
So an employee won't necessarily see an enormous decrease either?
An employee will not see a decrease.
Okay.
No current employees will see a decrease.
Okay.
Great question.
Good, yeah.
You're moving it out of the classified salary schedule?
Correct.
And for what does that, why the change, and what fund does it hit now?
So it'll still be a classified employee category. It just has its own salary schedule because of the uniqueness of parents as teachers and that employee, because of the travel they do. They go all over our district. And what we found is, so you're supposed to take 90 minutes to do a visit, but sometimes that visit might take 2.5, 3 hours, depending on the travel distance, or maybe the family's more, it became a real issue in trying to be consistent with what our expectations were for a parents as teacher visit. So adopting a lot of the other strategies that some other districts have used, going to a flat rate. We originally had a flat rate my first year here, and we changed to an hourly, and we found that wasn't effective. So we're really going back to what we've done before. Did that answer your question?
It's a Fund 1 expense.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, it's still operation funds, yeah, yeah,
And it was previously.
correct. It doesn't
Yes.
change any of that. It's just the. It's
How
just
they're
the-
paid.
It's just the schedule that they're being paid on, yeah. That's the only change.
Any other questions? Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Approval of the date to conduct tax rate hearing?
Move to conduct the tax rate hearing in conjunction with the regular board meeting on September 24th of 2025.
Second?
Questions?
Generally, we move this date a week later. It gives the counties a little extra time to submit their assessed valuations and allows Doug a little extra time to get that calculation completed.
So our board meeting next month is the fourth Wednesday instead of the third Wednesday. All right, ready to vote? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Tuition rate for 25-26?
Move to approve the tuition rate for the 2025-2026 school year as presented.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Purchase from Cable Dahmer, over 50,000.
Move to approve the purchase of 2 vans from Cable Dahmer as presented.
Second?
Mr. Nolan, do you want to give some explanation?
So in the past, we currently own 2 minivans, 2012, 2017. Those have typically been used for smaller groups of students to go on trips, field trips, sporting events, and things like that. Over the past few years, the demand for those has been so high that we have leased a third and a fourth some years, and sometimes some specific parts of the year. So when these 2 vans are starting to age, one of them specifically, we wanted to, I guess, explore different options where we feel like our leasing, the dollars that we're spending on the leases could be better spent in owning vans, which would then allow us, when those 2 current vans age out and need to be replaced, we have 2 vans ready to go. And the need for them is, we have a need for 4 at most of the year, spring and fall sports seasons. We definitely have a need for 4. In addition to that, we have the need for, we know that these 2 aren't going to last forever, and we feel like this is one, it gets our needs met, we aren't paying a lease payment for them, and when we do come to that point where we need to have retired 1 or 2 of these vans that we currently own, we at least have 2 ready to go. And the intent would be, these new ones would be what we would take for longer trips, out-of-town trips, and the 2 older ones, we would, and the intent would be to keep them around for local trips. So that's the background.
Do you want to share the expense for leasing the van for last year?
Sure, we spent $13,665 with Enterprise for a lease of 1 van for a majority of the school year.
And that stuff's not going down. Car rentals and van rentals is,
And you say we released 2 vans at some point?
We did not last year, but in the years past,
Okay.
we did.
So leasing 2 vans is almost the cost of 1 van to own it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm struggling with this a little bit because I'm trying to understand the rationale. I'm a little bit behind on the rationale. So you want 4 vans. It sounds like you need 4 vans. Like it's not a, so the question is whether you should lease them or buy it, right? And the way to look at it would be how much does it save versus own it. So it's just your typical rent to own versus your payback time period. So if it's 13,665, is that right? And the van was $36,000?
37.9.
Okay, so it's 3 years on the payback, right? I think it's not a trick question. I think that
That is-
I'm checking my math.
And the reason I paused was I was figuring it against 2 vans, but yes.
Okay, so so over 3 years you will have made back the amount of money. There's probably other expenses, gas and whatnot, insurance that put in there, but it's close enough on 3 years. But then won't you, after 2 years, still need to go buy 2 more?
Well, I don't know that there's a definitive year that you have to go buy 2 more.
You'll try and make them last as long as they
Are
can
safe,
by
yes.
keeping them. In,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, because that point, in the dream world, you could purchase one and then purchase, one later on if you could do it.
Well,
As opposed
would
to
you-
having to do both every time.
You switch over and just use the new ones predominantly, and the older ones only when necessary to preserve mileage.
That's how it would work.
Right.
They would put people in, if there was just a need for 2 on, they say, a certain day, I'm sure it would be the 2 new ones. And then on the local,
Yeah, sure.
on the local trips, we would then put our miles on those older ones, yeah.
So we have our special education students that use the vans to go to Fulfillment House. Keep it in town, keep it in a safe local distance, less risk.
I think 3 years is good for a payback. I mean, if he had said 10 years, then I would say, I'm not sure that makes as much sense, but 3 years for a payback, you'll realize some savings from that.
Well, and assuming the cost of the lease is just gonna go up too.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
And we have completely-
and one of them 13 years old, right? Anyway.
What happened to hoping it's available, we'll know.
Okay, any other questions? All right, ready to vote? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Board member comments?
I wanted to echo Dr. Miller's statement earlier that was tonight, and also all of the statements that have been made this evening around the work that the schools did to get prepared and ready, especially for open house. So I know it took a lot of work and effort from all of the staff and all of the teams that we have, and I just want to thank everyone for that, because it was not easy, but from a parent's perspective, walking in an open house, you would never have known. And so thank you for that.
I wanted to congratulate the young man in the back who's on his way to being an Eagle Scout for making it through this meeting. Not all of us can do that, but congratulations and keep going.
I also want to say, specific to open house, yes, the buildings look wonderful, but we have a fantastic staff. Like, they're just so welcoming and kind and excited to see everybody. And yes, the building is great, but it's that combination of, I'm so glad you're here. Like that feeling of, I've been planning for you and I'm ready for you to be here. I think it really sets the tone for an incredible school year. And so I want to thank all the teachers for doing that. I know it can be a long week. I'm sure some of that excitement is we're just happy to see kids not be in a meeting, but at the same time, it is genuine, and that's something we need to be grateful for.
Yes, if the teachers were scrambling, it was not noticed at all.
No.
From a parent level.
No, it was
in
great.
Any of the buildings. I guess I just went to 2 this year, which is different, but.
I was in 4.
No, I think the work that was done over the summer from Eric to the maintenance crews, the grounds crews and everything, custodial, I know it was a huge, huge effort. Dr. Miller, you guys, you pieced it all together. Everyone, every person that had their hands on did a great job. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, important dates. Labor Day, we already get a day off of school. Jeez. Then September 4th, the MSBA Fall Regional Meeting. And then our next board meeting is September 24th. And a lot of other activities in between, I know, with the sports teams getting ready to roll. And our Athletic Hall of Fame is the weekend of Labor Day as well. The Athletic Hall of Fame induction is that Saturday, whatever date that is. 30th?
The 30th,
I think it's the 30th, so. Miscellaneous?
Action for closed session to immediately precede the regular meeting in September, including any record or vote to discuss items and issues allowable under section 610-021 of the Missouri Sunshine Law.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Matt Baker,
Yes.
Jason Clint,
Aye.
Jake Smith,
Yes.
Christina Lindsay,
Yes.
Bruce Switzer,
Yes.
Moses,
Yes.
Darlene Bailey.
Yes. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming.